everyone. Got some karma cards for you today, and I think there's messages as well. This karma cards feels a little bit different because they gave me the 21st. This is the longest karma cards reading session I've had, but they said it's the 21st, and when I looked at the clock, 5:44, so I was like, right, got it. So I feel I haven't read the cards. I mean, I pulled them already from my team. I know there's a message here, but I want to start with this. I know this is backwards, but I got this in the mail today, and all it says is expect a miracle. That feels pretty good. I feel like that's a good sign. We're gonna start with this. So expect a miracle. That's the first message from the team, and everything's like going off right now. They want you to know they're here. Our star family, our spirit family, those in spirit. Okay, first message coming through. Yeah, they want you to know they are right here. I mean, so close, meaning your guides, angels, ascended masters, higher self, source energy, passed over loved ones, ancestors. They are so close right now. And I want to talk about that. That kind of leads in to some stuff that's coming up for people that I want to talk about that I think is really exciting. And I think it's going to give you confirmation. So they're very close. The energy is so intense. And as I say it, I am like zhuzhing. I don't know how else to say it. It's just that feeling of like up and down my spine. Like they're just confirming. They're so close to you. So, and they want you to know that you're asking, they're listening, and they're providing energy to you. So every time you're praying, every time you're meditating, every time you're intending, they're like, they said, they're putting their hands on your shoulder, like behind you, kind of like adding their energy to your prayers and your intentions. And all they're asking from us is like, just raise the frequency up. Like before you pray, before you meditate, before you do your mantras, just do what you know you should do, which is raise your frequency, right? And here's a really easy way to start. And I do this when I feel hit with a negative emotion or I feel negative energy welling up around me. I just say, raise my frequency, raise my frequency, raise my frequency. And you keep saying it until you start to feel it coming up. So just practice that with me now. You can say it internally. If you can say it out loud, I feel like it gives it more power because the vibration of your vocal cords is a literal vibration and it adds to the intent and vibration of the thought. So raise my frequency, raise my frequency, raise my frequency. So all those beings that I just talked about who are around you, they're hanging out in the astral. And they want you to know this is not where, this is not where beings usually hang out. They're not hanging out so low in frequency or so close to the earth. The astral plane is just kind of one step above the physical. It's that place that we go to when we're in our non-physical state. That's only just like a floor up in energy, if you will. And most beings, they're not hanging out right there. It's more like a hallway, they said. It's not that exciting on the non-physical side to hang out in a hallway. Like there's so many cooler places to be. So they're not hanging out there because that's where they dwell. They're hanging out there because of this time period and because they're offering energetic support. And they said that the easiest way for them to do this is you raise your energy up so that they can come down and meet you, right? And they've come in as close as they can to meet you, but you still have to raise up to meet them. That makes sense. Give me a thumbs up. So again, all those lovely beings and energy are hanging out with you. So I want to talk about the proof you already have that this is happening. The proof, right? So I want to see reactions from you. You can put it in the chat. You can thumbs up or hearts. How many people are seeing a crazy amount of visual anomalies? Okay, so most of the time we see these in our peripheral vision. This is the side of our vision that's connected to the non-physical plane, and this is where we usually see activity is peripherally. And even if you just kind of stop and soften your eyesight, I'm sure you'll see a light or movement, even though you might be in an empty room. So that's pretty common. That's how we can see into the other, we can see past the veil that way. Well, guess what? Movement's now moving like full frontal in the frontal vision now. So how many people are seeing that? Where it used to be a lot of activity to the side and you'd be like, huh? Who there? Right? And now it's like, it's moving kind of more into your general direct vision. Sparkly lights. So that is one form of proof that you're seeing your energies in the non-physical. Another thing that people are seeing, and this one I've been seeing almost daily now, and it gets really intense and it's sort of disorienting. And that one is what I'm calling the bleed through. Bleed through. So this is what it looks like. You're looking at the space you're in. It looks normal. And then suddenly it's like, okay, I'm in my bedroom right now. So for example, I'm like looking at my bedroom and then suddenly there's trees, forest. It's like a forest and then it's gone. Or it's like you're in a home space and suddenly you feel like you're in a public space. It's very quick. It's like a mind glitch is what it feels like. Has anybody been getting these bleed throughs? And you might not see as much of the image. You might just feel like there's like weird tracers, light, static, but it's almost like you're watching a screen and it's disrupted. Anybody else having this happening? The bleed through effect? No. Maybe I'm getting planetary interruptions. Yes, like a veil. It's, it's going to look slightly different for each of us. And I have a tendency to try to logic things away, even though I'm an intuitive, even though this is like the work I love, there's still a part of me that's a healthy skeptic. So I'm always like, oh, I must be tired or something like that. We're always trying to kind of work out what that was. But honestly, it's getting to the point now where it's just like glitch, bleed through. And what I feel like when I asked my team, what is this? And I felt into it. It's the timelines. So you're going to hear a lot of intuitive people, and you yourself are intuitive. And if you try to look into the future right now, it's like, it's hard. It's the pick your own adventure time. We're at the part of the story where we have to pick your own adventure. And it's no coincidence, because there are no coincidences. There's synchronicities, right? So it's no coincidence that Netflix newest movie adventure are these choose your own adventure shows. Have you guys seen these yet? There's Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. They're doing a movie now where it's a choose your own adventure, right? You watch part of the movie and then you pick what choice you're gonna make, and then it takes you down the movie. Have you guys seen these choose your own adventure movies? They did it with a couple of kids shows my kids watch. Carmen Sandiego. They did these choose your own adventure type shows. And the synchronicity is that's where we are at now, is choose your own adventure, except it's really choose your timeline. And that's really the message that keeps coming through. Like you got to choose the timeline. It's not about waiting for a timeline to unfold. It really is about choice. Third density, again, here we are. At the end of third density, we're at a choice point. And I know choose your own adventure is fun. Now, this is the thing that why everybody's so close now, why everybody's offering you energy. We keep thinking it's going to be a collective one big shift. That's not what I get. I get that this choice point is more individualized. And people will start experiencing very different realities. So it's not like we're going to be extracted from one timeline and plopped onto another. I think what's going to happen is we're going to watch people experience very different realities. And from the old mindset, it's going to look like that person's just delusional or they're having a totally different perspective. That's old mindset. New or awakened or aware mindset is the awareness of the timeline shift. So we're at the choose your own adventure point. And we've got to really consciously make that decision. And those who were with me at the last Spirit Circle know that we're in a count up right now. This is day 3, the day of creation, actually. 3 is the number of creation. So this is that day of creation. And it goes all the way till March 19th. And it's every day counting up to this next level. Now, will the timeline shift on the 19th? I don't know. Probably a little. I think it shifts every day. After the 19th, if you haven't made a choice, will you miss it? Nope. That's something that people often ask me about right now is I'm choosing the higher timeline. I'm choosing a better feeling timeline, and I have friends or family who aren't aware of it, or they're not making that choice, or they don't believe in that choice, and I'm really worried. And I keep getting, don't worry, everybody has the option to join. Like, they're just going to join at their own point. Maybe they'll get so sick of the experience or the perspective that they'll finally, like, that'll be their wake up moment, right? So we don't have to be in fear or worry for other people. Everybody has this choose your own adventure. And I want you to think about those movies, right, that are out right now. So if you make a choice in one of those movies and you choose a shitty choice, like let's say you just pick one and it goes to total hell in a handbasket in these movies, you know what they do is a character comes on and they were like, well, that looks like a sucky choice, maybe you should try again, and they go and bring you back to that choice point. So I don't think people are going to reverse in time, although that might be cool. I don't think that'll happen, but I do see that the choice point will be presented again and again, right? So it's not a hit it or miss it on opportunity. It's a rippling waves. And you hear this a lot too, these waves of ascension. That's the way it's designed. It isn't just a flip a switch, everybody wakes up. It is rippling, constantly rippling and flowing. And the ones who arrive at this awareness earlier are then their new honor/responsibility is to turn around and offer their hand to those who are just awakening, right? So that's the honor responsibility of the waves. So the ones who wake up then turn and offer their hand to pull the others up. And then once they do that, they turn around, and so on and so forth until everybody's there. So I know I went off on a tangent. So the other thing is the ringing in the ears. The ringing in the ears. How many people are getting these? Ringing in ears. Okay, so how many have noticed it on the right side? If you notice it right, just type in R in the chat just so I can see who's getting right. How many people get in the left? Type in L so I can see who's getting L. And if you're getting both, if it just kind of like switches back and forth on you, you can type both there just so that I can see what's coming in. I got information recently about what the sides might mean. Today I got one. I've been getting these, and let me know if anybody else gets these. I've been getting these where I get this, I feel the energy first, and it almost feels like you go underwater really fast and you get an air bubble in your ear. It's like a suction feeling, and it literally pushes me slightly out of my body. It's like I get bounced out and I come back and then I get the high pitch ring, and I really I hate those, and it's always to the left. It's always to the left. Okay, it's interesting. So there's no wrong way to get these, and these are not tinnitus, which a lot of time they get written off as being tinnitus. That would mean everybody on the effing planet has tinnitus, and I know that's not the case. I know that's not the case. So as these higher frequencies are coming in, and there are so many high frequencies coming in, we are getting downloads, these energetic downloads that go into us on many different levels. And what I've heard recently from someone else, and I have to feel into this, and you feel into this too and see if it's right. There's a ton of military helicopters going overhead. So let me know if you get this. So they said it on the right side, what that is more like energetic downloads are coming in. So those in the spirit circle have heard me talk about this, but we're getting these upgrades on a cellular and a physical level. So the ones coming into the right are like a energetic type of upgrade, like maybe like new frequencies, new information, like new knowledge or memories getting unpacked, whereas the ones coming in on the left are physical changes, the like physical upgrades that are coming in. This is like crystalline plasma light body, where you're changing more on the cellular level, like cellular changes. So we get both. We will get both, but notice if that feels right for you. If you're feeling the maybe like the memory upgrades or that feeling of like a lot of times what happens is past life information comes back, or awareness of past life information, or remembering really early childhood memories comes back in with the right side, where with the left side it's like so today what happened to me is I got the on the left side where it just kind of knocked me, pushed me a little bit on the astral part of my body, just pushed me out, and I hate that. And then I kind of snap back and get the ring. But then what happened was we went to the beach and the colors were, I kept saying to my husband, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? Because the sky wasn't gray, it was this blue gray, and it was really intense blue. And then the water was, I live in the Pacific Northwest, so when you look at the ocean, you don't really see, you see gray and sometimes like a deep green and sometimes like a gray blue. But today it was like there was streams of aqua, and it was crazy. I'm just saying, like, what happened was it was like my senses were getting like tweaked from that. So that was really interesting. So these are some of the things that are happening right now, and they're just letting us know that these energy upgrades are happening. The visuals many times are the beings around you, the higher beings. And yeah, in the mix every once in a while is a negative entity. And I heard John Gillian talk, and if you haven't heard of him, John Gillian owns the E. Seti Ranch, which is here in Washington State, Mount Adams, where there's a lot of UFO extraterrestrial activity. So that's kind of what he works on. But he made a point about high vibrational people and negative entities that I really want to share with you, because it just tweaks that perspective and makes it a much more positive experience. And that was the fact that if you're raising your light, okay, especially in a dark place, which we're working out of the dark, we're coming out of the dark, but we become brighter. And the more you're raising your frequency and you're setting those positive intentions and you're focusing on love and you're bringing that in, you, my dear, are like super bright. You're sparkly, and you, it's just like moths to a flame, right? So negative entities aren't interested in the people who aren't shining their light. There's not a lot of energy there. If you think of it just in terms of pure wattage, right? A dollar light isn't giving off a lot of energy. A bright light is. So if you notice that you're getting psychic attack or weird negative thoughts, or just moody all of a sudden, and it doesn't feel congruent to your experience, there's a good chance you're drawing in some kind of negative entities. And he said you should be really excited about that. Not because of them, but because it means you're not doing anything wrong. It means you're doing something right. Okay, so if you feel that coming in, it really means you're doing it. You're doing it right. So here's what we can do to help ourselves out if we're experiencing an increase of, like, I've been getting it on a dream level. Has anybody been getting like nightmares or just dreams that feel like stress, or that you're working hard or frustrated? Let me know. Again, if you're feeling like moody but you don't really have a reason, or you notice that people are moody around you and that feels triggering. I mean, how could we not, right? How could we not be triggered right now? But there's a possibility that there's just some negative energy that's noticed you. So here's a few things that you can do. Number one, black crystals are excellent at repelling negative energy. What they do is, I like to think of black crystals, and this is black tourmaline on the matrix, and that means that it's black tourmaline with quartz, which amplifies the black tourmaline. Black tourmaline is excellent, by the way, excellent at this. But any black crystal works. Black crystals act like a cloak of invisibility. It's like Harry Potter's cloak of invisibility. So your light is still shining super bright, but you've just put a cloaking device on you and you're sort of invisible to negative energy. And that does work. But something that John teaches, and I find it way more powerful, and it's a taking your power back move. I'd like to teach you now. Here's what this one does. It actually makes them, the energies watching this, kind of think twice about attaching to you, because you're sort of now going, you're a little dangerous to the dark side, a little bit. Like you're not being negative. You're just sort of like, it's a challenge. You offer a challenge now that if they approach you, they're going to be healed, is what it is. So that's not necessarily what they want. They want lunch. They want energy. They want your negative energy, but they don't want healing. And that's what we're going to offer them right now. So here's how we do it. So let's start just by consciously raising our frequency right now together. So again, we can just say, raise my frequency, raise my frequency, raise my frequency, raise my frequency. Okay. And you should be feeling that. Now I want you to call in your spirit team. So I like to say, guides, angels, ascended masters, higher self, and source energy, come in close, please. I just imagine that group of love and light coming around me. And then I ask them to surround me in the highest vibrational frequencies of love and light. I change this up, the light I ask for. A lot of times I ask for the Christ consciousness, which is the unity consciousness, the highest level of unity consciousness. So if that works for you, you can imagine that. And it's just this beautiful golden white energy field that is very high vibrational and filled with love and unity. And now I want you to take a moment to think of either a place you love, like a location. Maybe it's a place you go for a walk or meditate. Maybe it's attached to a really poignant memory. Find that place that just, when you think of it, you feel so much love and expansion. All right. So with our team around us, we're going to welcome in now all entities who need healing. That's all you have to call them. All entities who need healing. And just imagine them coming into this circle you've created. And now what you're going to ask is for your team to surround them with the highest vibrational frequencies of benevolent love and light. So again, you can say the Christ consciousness light, or whatever light it is you want to bring, but we're putting it on these beings now. When you see the light on the beings, you say, you are healed. You are forgiven. You are loved. You are lifted. And you are enlightened. And now ask your team to escort these beings to their perfect place. So you can just kind of imagine them being escorted with love and light out away from you to a perfect place. They're all leaving. These entities are now healed and forgiven, and they're leaving. And we thank our team. Thank you, team. Thank you, thank you. And now just fill yourself up from the inside and let it radiate out with any color light that feels the most healing for you. I like to pick a golden pink and just see that filling up your body, filling up from your feet all the way up to your head, and then it's spilling out of you, radiating out of fingers and toes, your head, all over your body, just radiating this light all the way out of your energy field. And then you can even put a beautiful bubble of like crystal protection. And what this does is it allows you to radiate loving light while blocking anything else. So now what we've all done, and that's it. And what we've all done collectively is we've literally, instead of resisted the negative, we've drawn them close and healed them. They hate that. They hate it because they don't want healing. They don't want to be raised up, but it does. It raises up a negative entity, and what it does is it causes them to depolarize. They're no longer as negative as they were. And so what it does is it puts them into a healing cycle. Now, a healing cycle, this happens to anybody who passes over into the non-physical, who hasn't done the karmic work. They go into what's known as a healing cycle. So a healing cycle is sort of like a life review or an energy review, where you're looking at your energy and you have to assess it and you have to feel what you've put out, and that causes healing. It causes if you go positive, it causes compassion, understanding, forgiveness, acceptance, gratitude, appreciation. That's what it does. So these beings have now just been put into a healing cycle, and they have to then choose again. They have to choose now if they will go back to the negative and lower their frequency, or if they're going to continue the healing cycle and move over into a positive frequency. So now you can see that by being the space where you're willing to heal these beings, you're not as delicious. You're like a dangerous, you're dangerous because you're going to turn and look at them and embrace and start the healing process. And do you see how that brings your power back to you? And you're doing it with an intention, a pure intention of love, forgiveness, healing, acceptance. So as we do that, we do it for ourselves too, because remember, now this is the part that, like, when we grok this 100%, we have gone full positive. These negative entities are us. These positive, blissed out entities are us. Same being, because we're one being. We're with multiple aspects, right? So when we do this work on them, we heal us too. It's a win-win, actually. It's a win-win. And I think that, that's going to be the next big part for us as we move up in frequency, as we choose the positive timeline to get fully on it, is when we turn and look at the beings and people that we used to look at as perpetrators, and we see them as aspects of us, because to be fully in unity consciousness means you can't separate any of the life force. That's not unity. It's still polarization. It's a more positive form of polarization, but to be out of a polarized field, to be totally integrated and unified, you have to see every aspect and be able to draw it in. So you can thank these entities, these negative entities that come up. It's almost like they're giving you chances to practice, right? Because you can't see them, you can't judge them, you can't make up stories about them, you just feel them. And so they're really being of service, and they hate it when you say that too, because when they hear that, it depolarizes them too. And I'm not trying to attack any entities, but I do thank them for what they're offering, because they're giving us great practice, because we're going to have to practice this on the physical plane very soon. We're going to meet and see people, or we're going to re-see people, I guess is a better way to say it. Where it's going to cause us to want to separate them from us when we see what they've done. And we're still going to have to figure out how to integrate. That doesn't mean that it means we forgive. It doesn't mean that we allow more negative energy or more negative behavior on their part. We have strong boundaries, but we also have a strong sense of healing and love. So thank the negative entities approaching you right now who are, playing Boogie Monster with you or trying to wreak havoc on your peace. Think of them as practice, and know that that every time you can kind of turn, embrace, heal, forgive, lift, and release, that you're practicing for a bigger task to come. And I've seen into the future many times. We will do this. We will heal, and we will become fully integrated. It's going to be amazing. But it's one of these moments where we're like, we don't know if we're up to it yet, but we are. We totally are. But this is a great way to practice that personal power and understanding the power of love and forgiveness and compassion. These are powers. All right. So I hope that was helpful. I hope it gave you something that feels like you can work with it. And again, know that every time we raise our frequency, we've got a power boost of everybody around us. We're not doing this alone. Remember, in the visualization, you are surrounded by beings offering you help. You just have to be the one brave enough to initiate the work. Okay? All right. So with that, let's do karma cards. Karma cards. Okay, here's how we do karma cards. There are 3 decks here: planets, signs of the zodiac, and the houses of astrology. I've already asked my team what the message is for today, and picked the cards. So how you play is you just decide if you need an action-based answer or you want to know an outcome-based answer. And of course, many people choose both. So there are actions in red and there are outcomes in blue. And I will read across the cards. So all you do is you decide if you want red for action or blue for outcome. I was just asking myself in my head if Pluto has gone retrograde yet. And I want to say it's going retrograde on the 13th, which is tomorrow, I think. I need to look that up. But Pluto is like a day away, I think, from going retrograde. And it's in this really cool window that's happening right now. So here we are in this count up to the next level, and 4 planets are in retrograde: Saturn, Venus, Jupiter, and Pluto. And retrograde, it means internalized. It means all that focus is going internal. So Venus being your love, harmony, and balance, and values. Saturn being expansion and joy, and prosperity and success. Saturn being karma, timing, responsibility, and Pluto being power, like where power is. And because it's going retrograde, it's internalizing. So all of this gives you strength. All of this is giving you strength to do what you need to do. So it's very interesting that Pluto has shown up here. So it's Pluto in Leo, another signifier of courage and strength, in the 8th house of transformation, mystery, rebirth. All right, and this reading goes from today, the 12th, through the 21st. I think it's one of the longest reading windows they've ever given me. But they said, seriously, it's the 21st. So it's a longer reading. So let me tell you the actions. We'll start with the spiritual action. The spiritual action is resurrect leadership as a life or death issue. Resurrect leadership as a life or death issue. So right before I did the card reading, I said, you have a team of beings around you, but you have to initiate. Or another word for that is lead. So again, they're saying that this energy of waiting for something outside of you to give you the signal, waiting for maybe energy to do its work. You're kind of the commander in chief right now of your life, what you're going to experience. You're the leader. So resurrect leadership as a life or death issue, just meaning this is the moment now. There's no, they keep saying this, like there's just, you don't have the luxury of waiting it out. Do something. And the doing right now is being in charge of what direction you're going in, where the focus goes, what you're going to do with that energy. Once you've turned on your energy or raised it up, now you tell them, this is what I'd like, please. I'd like your assistance with this or that or the other thing. Offer your energy to my intention, please, right? These are the things. So leadership as life or death issue. The mental action at this time, get to the heart of it. Get to the heart of creativeness, of getting and using power. Kind of the same thing. Go right, don't waste your time, don't wait, go right into just your create. Here's what I said the other day. Sorry, my brain is exploding with like yeses right now. What I had posted on my Instagram the other day was, you are a powerfully creative being in a powerful creation alongside other powerfully creative beings. Okay? So there is no, this person has the power or say and I don't. It's co-creating, it's coexisting at the same time. And you get to choose, again, choose what you're going to experience. And it's really time to claim that. Again, don't waste time. You don't have to wait. Claim it now, and claim it like it's your job, because it is. Physical action at this time. Do or die. You must do what you want to and use other people's resources. Okay. So Pluto's a little bit dramatic. Do or die. Okay. It just means right now, right? Like, don't waste time. You must do what you want. Pick the and my things are all lighting up all around me, by the way. Pick the direction you want things to go in and use other people's resources. Meaning, I get with this one, this is like, you don't know the words, find the words. Meaning, find a meditation you like, find a mantra, go to a scripture that touches you, go to whoever your spiritual teachers are, or the things that inspire you. You do not have to. That's my team. They're saying you don't have to start from scratch. You don't have to like sit there and struggle with, how am I going to ask? If you don't have the words, go to a prayer that works for you. Go to a mantra, go to a poem, go to a quote that just, you get it, right? And that's like, when you read it, you were like, this is what I mean. So use other people's resources. Don't beat yourself up that it's not just coming to you. Here's an example. On my podcast, Modern Mystic Soul, I made a special episode, and it's called the Paradise Ascension Timeline Meditation. And I made that selfishly a little bit for myself, but also I share it with you because I knew that in moments of stress, I wouldn't remember the words. I knew that I wouldn't remember the mantra I say to myself when I'm stressed out and the thoughts that I need to direct my energy in. So I prepared. I was like, crap, I'm going to record this and I'm just going to listen to it to help me remember what I'm focusing on. So if you want that, you can go to my podcast. I'll put a link here in the comments when I'm done. It's really easy to remember. It's anchor.fm/Blythe Starlight, one word. And you'll find my podcast. But I will put the link to that meditation. It's like 6 minutes long, somewhere between that. And I listen to that in the morning and I listen to it at night to just help me go, right, this is where I'm focusing. This is what I'm thinking. These are the words that I'm activating. And all you have to do to use it is infuse it with your personal intention. But that is just one example of how you can use somebody else's resources to very effectively create the timeline shift, the positive energy shift you need. So yeah, you do not have to like stress out and figure this out on your own. There is no cheating. It's being smart. It's find the resources that work for you, use those that'll work. Okay? And it's the time to do it. Like they really want you to get like it's time, and the timer is going. And I don't say that in any kind of alarmist or negative way. It has to do with potency, and it has to do with they're showing me scales like going like this, like weighing the scale down in the favor of the higher collective timeline. And they're like, this is the perfect window. So that's why there's urgency in it. It's not gloom and doom. It's like, let's do this now kind of thing. They keep saying, how long do you want to experience this chapter? The book ends in a positive way. But how long is it going to take to finish the book is kind of the gist of it. So positivity wins in the end always, but how long are we going to hang out one chapter and analyze before we keep moving forward? Okay? All right, so for those who are choosing blue or outcome, the spiritual outcome at this time, the need for control of self-confidence to create personal power. Again, the messages are just really strong about you got this. Like if you're waiting for the message, this is it. I mean, how many people have literally seen that one? Or if you're waiting for a sign, this is it. Like they can't cross the boundary of free will. They're like, I know that some people kind of want them to like orb in and like slap them in the face and be like, it's go time. Nothing. They're not going to do that, but they're getting as close as they can. I mean, honestly, it cracks me up because it's like they're breathing on your neck. They're like, we're right here. Just go. Right. So the need for control of self-confidence to create personal power. Self-confidence is a feeling state, and that means it can't be given to you. It is something you feel inside. And one of the best ways to get into the feeling of self-confidence is the words and actions align, right? When we create that integrity, whenever we experience an alignment between our thoughts and words and our deeds, we create integrity, which naturally turns into self-confidence. So when we say we want the positive timeline or we want a positive outcome, and then we do something to make that happen, whether it's positive intention, whether it's actively forgiving, whether it's actively appreciating, actively loving, whenever we do that, we create integrity, which gives us that alignment and gives us the self-confidence to feel empowered. So that's how we're getting that. Mental outcome, an obsession with taking a chance on the mysteries of life. Okay, I'll say that again. An obsession with taking a chance on the mysteries of life. I mean, this is tying so perfectly into how we started. Your team and spirit, right there. They're right here, taking a chance on them, an obsession with it. It's like they're as close as they can get. You have to raise your frequency, and then you're going to have to take that leap of faith. Take a chance. What have you got to lose to go lean fully into that moment? And again, this is going through the 21st, so lean fully in. One of the ways we do this is recognizing that you're a powerful creator, powerfully creating with other powerful creators. People are going to create things around you. And it's very important to stay in your power means you can see what they've created, but you don't have to buy it, right? You can go to the store and look at all the options, but you don't have to buy them. They might, and some people out there, and there's a lot of this is happening, are trying to convince you to buy their product, buy my creation. You need this. This is how it's going to go. You need to understand that it's going this way, da, da, da. take a moment and remember, observe, don't absorb, meaning I see that you're offering this creation. Thank you for showing me your version. I now consciously create this. Or if it's something that you like, you're like, yeah, I like the way that looks. I can add it to mine. But stay in your sovereignty. Stay in the fact that you are also a powerful creator. Don't cut yourself off from that. And the physical action at this time, a power struggle resulting from the impressiveness of a major change. Again, we had this last week, the resulting from impressiveness of a major change, a power struggle resulting from the impressiveness of a major change. Again, they keep showing me the grocery store example I just used, where the power struggle is, as you claim your power, as you claim your right and ability to create the life you wish to see, you will meet resistance. And it might be an internal resistance or an external resistance. It might be internalized as in, I now doubt that I can do this. That's internal resistance. Or external resistance, where you're claiming it. People are like, who the F do you think you are to not go along with the majority of reality right now? This is the reality and you need to go with it. Right? So it depends on where that resistance really lives, like where your personal experience of resistance is. Are you resisting your own power, or are you resisting, or do you have or is the work on the power with other people? I think that's where it's going to show up, that power struggle. Impressiveness of a major change. So there is a major change coming here, and it might only be energetically. It might be a big energetic shift. It might be a global event. It might be informational in nature. It's really hard to say, because guess what? They're all kind of going along at the same time. So in that sense, it's kind of like only time will tell what that major change is, but all major changes are happening right now. It is the time period of that, of change. It's like a ripple or effect, or a domino. So energetically, informationally, globally, all of it's connected. And it's kind of like which one, which came first, the chicken or the egg? I'm going to say energy comes first, right? And this isn't just, political is only one tiny piece of it. This is like energetic changes, molecular changes, planetary shifting. I mean, there's so much, and it's happening all at once. So the deal is here is, the message is fully stand in your power, be the leader. You have a team around you. You are guiding your ship. The obstacle is, know that there will be something there that's going to push back on you and offer resistance. And that doesn't mean you have failed. It means you're doing something right. And the resistance comes in because it's just the part that needs to heal. It's some part that needs to heal. So when we feel the resistance, which we ultimately will, we need to make a choice to either, the choices are there, right? Again, do I give up because I feel resistance? Do I see it as not working? Or do I see it that I'm doing something right, and then that this resistance is the growth moment? It takes you up to that next level. And the closer we get to what we want, resistance rises to meet us. And if you have ever read Stephen Pressfield's book, The War of Art, he talks about this. He talks about that at the end of a creative process, the resistance will be greatest, because it's kind of like everything that is unhealed is pressing against this new shift. And the real trick here is to see that and embrace the resistance. Like, don't resist resistance. It's so it sounds funny to say it, but we do. We resist our own resistance. So we see that we're resisting, and then we push on it more. And you want to go into surrender. It's like, I am resisting. Open your arms. Open your arms. Let it be there, acknowledge it, and embrace it. And as you do that, that becomes an integration point. And then you move up in energy. Expect a miracle. Okay, this came in the mail today and I believe it. Expect a miracle. The miracle is you. I know that sounds a little cheesy, but it really is. The miracle is you. It all is within, right? So I hope you found these tips helpful. I hope that you understand what your mission is right now, and I hope that you're really excited. I hope you're really excited because it is sort of a magical, frustrating, amazing, mythical time that we're in. And I'm so grateful that I get to be here with you. So grateful. So I'm sending you lots of love, lots of positive energy, and I'll see you next week. Mwah. Thank you for watching. Subscribe now and hit the notification bell so that you know the next time I release a new video. Until then, stay magical.